got this. I think I got this figured out a little bit. It's OBS software. Good morning. All right, so what I want to do is turn off my monitor, I think. There we go. Okay. I took a couple trades already today on PHVS. Take a look at that. Let me pull up my orders real quick here. All right, so I took my first trade on PHVS at around 8:20 this morning. I took an entry I got 10 shares at 431, then I added 5 shares at 455 for an average of, I want to say, about 149 or something like that. And then I took profit into the squeeze. My highest exit on that, I took thirds into the squeeze over this level here, into this breakout here. And then I got out before we got with the strength moving towards 70. I got out 59.64, and I held a little position to see if it was going to come back in at around, and then I stopped out of that around 59. So all in all, it took about 20-30 cents per share off this thing. And actually, let me pull that up. I think I got a file on that, because I was actually doing the test for the OBS when that happened. So I was testing out the OBS and doing a recording, and I caught the trade. This is the first part. Where are we at here? First trade was at 8:20. This may be it here. The volume's starting to pick up. And I'm just trying to thinking my way through it. And that's what I like to do. I just kind of focus in. I like to try to think my way through each trade. The key to it is to be able to do it in real time while a trade's happening, because that's when you can get a little off there, because you have that intensity of being in that trade can throw off your thinking and everything. So I try to focus on being mindful in real time in the trade, and just kind of talking to myself here and there, thinking through some things. And right now I'm looking for I think higher levels of resistance for targets. It's a top gapper on the day. It's not a super low float, but it is a top gapper. So definitely has me interested. It's showing that it has momentum. We have news, some type of FDA news. Pull up the news after the trade. Like when you see news and stuff, that's always a good sign on a low float. When it starts to move, you see momentum building. You see the volume building up. Folks starting to get involved here, and then you have a news catalyst. I mean, it's not the greatest of all markets for small caps right now. It is coming back a little bit, but um, it's a good setup. Only thing I was being cautious about is that on the higher time frame over here and down here, the 30-minute and the 4-minute, it was a little bit extended. So this is, I'm looking for, a 20-cent scalp here if possible. I'm not looking to hold this thing with the extension on it, but I'll ride it. We'll ride it until the momentum stops. Some trades are really quick. Some trades you have to be a little bit more patient on. This one is a little bit more of a patient trade. This is what, like a, I don't know, 2, 3 minute trade. Um, doesn't sound like much, but it feels like an eternity when you're in there. But this is the stuff I want to see. This is like what I want to see. I want to see the momentum. I want to see the volume start to move higher. I want to see these things, and this allows me to say, okay, this is a chance that this thing can go higher, right? What's the range? How high do I think? How much further do I think it can extend? And can I get in anywhere? And is it worth it for me to get in there and take a little piece off of that? Is that range worth it? Worth the risk I'm going to put on, and to get some profits there. So I got out in a good spot. I was looking for a squeeze higher. It didn't really happen for me. So I think that was like 64. I think it was 65 or 64 was my highest exit on that. It went to 71. 64 was my highest exit. And what I wanted to do was see it push over 471. That right, I'll mute that. But yeah, what I wanted to see it was it take and push through 71. That's why I held a third of my position, like the last part of my position, just to see if it wanted to go a little further. I'm already in the green, or I'm already up, so I might as well just see what it gives me. What do I care if I get out 10 cents up or 15 cents up? If it comes back down, I'll get out 10 cents before I got in, and if it doesn't, maybe I get lucky and it extends itself another 20 cents or so. And for people who don't trade, it sounds like a small amount of money, but when you compound that on 1,000 shares, 100 shares, something like that, at 20 cents, 30 cents, 10,000 shares becomes something substantial. So that's the goal. That's the game. Name of the game is to get good, and then once you get good, then you start to step your account size up. I've had $1,000, $1,000 accounts before. I blew one up. I used another one that's just a slowly trade, small size to see build my skills really. So All right, well, so 71 was the top on that. That stock now is currently sitting at 19, right? Currently sitting at 19. It's coming down, right? Because it was extended. Made a big move here. This thing came from $2.30 or so up to $4.71 in the course of a few hours. The move initiated around 6 o'clock, 6:30, is now pushing 9 o'clock. So it's it's a big move. It needs to breathe a bit. It needs to come back down. Right? This could be a great pattern. This could be a great pattern here, right? This is an upward pattern. We might be coming back down for a retest on a higher time frame, then maybe a shoot higher, but it definitely needed to breathe. It needs to breathe, and then this is going to be a key level here. While it's doing that, we'll see if there's anything else moving. EXPR. First thing we want to check is the float. Well, first thing I'm going to check because I'm not is the float, and for me that float's too high. That's about a 65 million share float. It's a little too high for me. I like to be a little bit lower than that. Ideally under like 30. I think this one we just traded though. Yeah, this one's 22, 23. The lower the float for me, the better. And if I see a low float, I like to trade much lower than that float to be honest with you. But if I see a low float, 1 million shares, 2 million shares, 700,000 shares, and then we have a ton of volume on it, that's the ones you want to look at for the potential to be big moving stocks. On news, in order to get rich trading Apple, you need a lot of capital. So this is sort of like the one of the best ways that I think is to gain up some freaking capital is to learn how to do this because you don't need a bunch. You could just do this and let it compound on itself. You do this every day and like a few percent here, a few percent there, it adds up quick. I'm not at my daily goal just yet, but I'm closing in on it. I think I figure another two trades. If I'm lucky, I'll get to my daily goal and I'll shut it down for today. And that's how I'd like to trade. Now let's go check in on the scanners here. Let's do this. Let's do that. So what we got going on here is this is what I was talking about in that video. This is how I use it. So if you don't have any scanners at all, this you can always make do. Like there's no reason not to be able to learn how to trade. This gives you the standards. All right, so this is the one I was just trading, right? All right, this is the other. This is the top gainer on the day, but it's a low. It's a small super toe small micro float. So I don't like messing with anything under like a dollar. Really, I don't like messing with anything that's even close to a dollar. So really, I like to be at over like $2 to be honest with you, depending on how it's moving. Under a dollar, I mean, you can make it work, but they tend to fall back to under a dollar once they break the dollar threshold. They tend to take a little bit. They'll move a little bit sometimes, from what I've seen, and then they like to come back down underneath that level. So I don't like to mess with those. Some people trade that with big size, like 30, 40,000 shares, and just take a few cents moves off of that, and they're good. But I just can't. I can't do it. Right, so these are all the top gappers. This is all. This is a free. This is free. Like you don't need, you know, the expensive scanners and stuff for that. You don't need them, right? And then if you get halts, you can check right here. You're not gonna see a halt in pre-market, but this is where I would check for my halts. If I wanted to, like, just say there was a discrepancy with Thinkorswim's metrics on the stock and then let's say Webull said something different, I would say, all right, well, let me just take all three of these. Let's say one says the float is 3 million shares, and one says the float is 1 million shares. I'll go to FinViz and type in the ticker and say, all right, what does FinViz think? And then I'll gain a better sense of what that, what the actual float number is. Because sometimes you get things like reverse splits and stuff that will change how many shares are in that stock. So you want to just kind of cross reference and cross check yourself across different information sources. Especially if I see like a super low float moving, or I'll see something moving really fast. I'm like, what? That float's too high for that in my mind. I'll go and check, and oh, okay, the real float is such and such. That's how that works. That's why it's moving like that. Like maybe they had some type of split, and then a reverse split or something, and the float got smaller or something. I'll play my intro one more time because I like my intro, man. I just made this last night. I was up grinding yesterday. That's why I sound like this. I'm sick for my kids, and I was grinding, learning OBS. Hold on, let me take a little up. We might have to slow up. This thing's moving again. Off of support. It's a good piece of risk here. Like a 10-cent max risk. I'm taking that. I'm in at 28. I'm gonna keep my stop tight on this. See, I can't even talk. I'm just shot. I'm in at 28. There's a big wall at 28. 28 has moved. We're at 30, 31. I'm gonna be conservative today. Already had a win. I don't want to lose a bunch of money. Where's my entries at 28? Let's go 30. Let me just get a little bit more through 30 so I can take some of this off. Now we're back to my entry. All right, let's get ready to get out of this if we have to. I took some off on 29. I'm taking a bulk off at 29. I put up for 29 on the ask and I got filled there. I'm leaving just a third of it on just to see if it wants to go, but I don't want to lose anything. So I'll take the few pennies, the couple pennies. It's not showing me what I want to see. I'm getting out of this. I can always get back in. Yeah. All right, stopped out of that one. Those are small stops. Let me see here. That last stop I couldn't get a fill, and that's due to being on Webull, but that's going to change in a few months. I'm going to get a real system software here or something. I want to go TD, but I think TD's doing something weird with Schwab where they're shutting it down for a few months or something. So I don't want to get caught in that. So I haven't decided what I'm going to use yet, but I'm definitely getting away from Webull. I may go back to CMEG. I don't know. I don't really have a big problem with paying small fees if the software works correctly. I don't know if I'm ready for leverage yet. You got to know yourself. I'm impulsive. I'll see something moving and start punching the damn buy button and use up some leverage and get smoked, and I ain't got time for that. So I'd rather use a cash account. This way, the only thing I can lose is money that I put in there. All right, let's see. She looks like she wants to go again, but I want to see some more volume pumping here. What time is it? Where's the level at here? It's been dancing on this 415. I mean, I guess that's support. Let me wait till it falls back in. I put an order on at the bid closer to support, closer to VWAP. This is 413. Unless it starts to really break on volume, then I'll take the scalp, the breakout. But I want to see if I can get in on support here and put myself at a more advantageous place to just make that 20 cents. Yeah, no, it's coming in there. All right, I'm taking this. I got 15 shares at 430. Yeah, see the thing with Webull, the spreads are wonky. So if you're trading and you don't have a ton of liquidity, it's hard to get in and out where you want. So you got to kind of think about where you're getting in and out before you do it. I just got some more at the bid down there at 423. My average now is 430, and that's the last I'm going to add. And if it doesn't work for me, I'm just going to get out of it. I do want to kind of see if it's going to continue to hold these levels, though. I want to give myself a chance at least. I'm up a little bit on a day. If I lose some, I lose some. All right, a little pop. She's high, man. She can come down really quick. Got to be careful with stuff like this. Trading is risky. She's slowing down too. Let's see if I can get out half of this position on the ass. Nope, didn't get a fill. Canceled it. 120 up there on the ass. So we have some sellers up there. I mean, it's not crazy, but we'll see. It's like now Webull showing 22.30, right? When you see TOS is like 27.30. So on TOS, I could have hit the bid, only lost a few cents, but right now, if I were to hit the bid on Webull to get out, I'm automatically gonna give up 8 cents. So you kind of gotta be careful with Webull. You only want to trade things that are like really liquid, and this is just not the one right now. It's slowing down. I'm getting out of this if I can. I'm gonna have to take the loss on that. I'm out. Yeah, and that's why it's really dangerous you got to be careful if you're using Webull. You know what I mean? And you're using the free brokers and stuff. You just you gotta. It has to be really like liquid. Like you got to see big volume coming and stepping in. And I should have known better than to mess with this anyway because we're starting to go down, and we're sitting at this level, dancing around this level where we could have a lot of downside here if it was to fall back down through this candle. All right, let's take a peek at the scanners to see what we got here. What I should have did was put up. Let's take a peek at the scanners. I'll bring these over. EXPR moving a little bit. What else we got? Yeah. All right, so we'll just wait for the bell at this point. All right, so this is the point where we start to just sit back and wait. So what I have up on my right screen over here is a list of a bunch of previous runners from the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Our man looks like it's been bounced on this level, rejecting this level down here. There's something to look at. There's Armed here. We'll take a peek at that. Any volume, but it's kind of stair stepping up, right? Like over time. Looks like it wants to kind of stair step its way up. I don't know. I'd have to do a little more look into that a little deeper. I know there's a gap fill over like $10. Something to think about as a swing. So it's the waiting game. This is the waiting game. This would typically get me in trouble because I want to trade. So my first trade is usually really good. And there's some days I think I should just take one and just be done for the day. So I've been trying to trade less and less and less. And I gave back half of what I gained already today, but that's fine, whatever. As long as I'm green. What's the windows? So we're watching Armed EXPR. It's kind of not for me. I don't really like that. So we'll keep that up there. Let's see. We get a squeeze with it off the 5-minute candle. Be something to look at. Maybe a 5-minute setup. I still want to see this volume pick back up, but we're going into the open, so we might get a push up, or we could get a really big push down. So what does this thing do? Let's look at the history of it. I like to look back and see what kind of patterns it likes to make. So if we look back on the daily chart, let's show you the daily chart on this thing. Where's the daily? Here we go. Let's go back even further. All right, you see this kind of up, wash out motion. Up, wash out, comes down, right? Up, wash out, even on the way down, sort of does it. So we have this up. So I always move this up, and then we're sitting at this key level here. I think this thing could be going down. Volume's kind of doing this dip. That big volume all throughout the pre-market session, at least in this range of time. Volume's down. Historically, the chart likes to wash out a bit. I don't know. Now it's time to put the audio on for this. APRN. This is the only thing freaking moving now. Fucking, I'm going in it one more time. Degeneracy. This is kind of where I was at before I got in now, man. If I was going to get in, I should have gotten down here. Closer to 16. See if we see some follow through. There could be a squeeze above that level, though. At least from here, this little level here, this little top here. There could be a little squeeze above that level. As far as range-wise, 15 to 30 is 15. Nothing like another 15 here. So you'd really have to be in down here in order to really make this worth your while. It's kind of already in this kind of channel here. See how it reacts to the bell, because it's just too close to the bell for me to be messing around with stuff. Shit, I'm breathing on the mic. $424? This is better than fucking 430. Let's be a little lower than that though for me. I got 21 on the bids on it over here and 24 on the bids over there, so I couldn't even get in on a bid right now if I wanted to. 25 at the highs. 16, 15 at the low. Really lower than that. VWAP's for 13. Yeah, it's still too high for me. Made about 3 attempts at breaking out of this level here. Seems to be holding. I'm gonna get in this. I want to get in this. It just seems to be holding, right? I know there's a level up here that it hasn't been able to push over. But I mean, if it does push over here, there could be a squeeze here. Because we had this downward movement. Then we had this. We probably got bulls buying a dip, buying a dip, buying a dip, or at least buying the breakouts. So we got people trapped on both sides here. I don't know if it's the greatest market for this, but I'm gonna give it a go. So I took half my position. I'm in at 28. And then if it comes back down, I'll take another half toward into the resistance, to the support level. Yeah, let's see. See what it does. What's that? They're moving a little bit. Yeah, there's something going around like the whole of America. Story shit. When are we all? When aren't we sick at anymore? All the kids are sick, like the freaking not emergency rooms, but the like the places you bring your kids to, like the pediatrics and the freaking the emergency ones and stuff, are like getting their asses kicked. We took our kids there to get them checked out. They said they were out of flu tests and they're out of flu tests. 4 minutes to the bell. It's almost like you can see the excitement from people as it gets closer to the bell. See the buyers starting to come in a little bit, the stock getting a little perkier. But you just think it could just fall the floor and flush out though. So like I got like half my position size on there, and if it starts to dump, I'll just probably get out. I'd like to add because it's starting to look a little more perky. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. 'Cause it's got a long, long candle it can drop through if it comes down. You could probably hold down and everything on the open. The SPY's not looking so hot. Everything looks kind of weak. I mean, I guess we're up a couple points off of yesterday's low, but just kind of looks like a setup. 2 minutes to the bell. This thing is showing weakness already. We got a ton of people getting ready to short it down. Yep, let me get ready to get the hell out of here because this is looking a little sketchy. A little sketchy, sketchy. Be a great place to get long now if you were one of a person who plays the opens, but I don't know about the opens. It just the opens scare me a little bit. 1 minute. And I need another program because I don't like the hotkeys on TOS or on Weevil. Look, it's coming down to VWAP. Let's get ready to get out of this thing if we have to. And 10 seconds to the bell. I see I got to turn that down. That was kind of loud. Kind of loud. Okay, volume pump it in there. See if it doesn't turn around and fucking closing it out. Yeah, you got to be. What's halted? What the hell is that? What is that right there? MOMO. What is that? Going into a halt? False halt? I'm at 657 on that. 660. Now this thing's pushing right into resistance. Let's see if it keeps going. It's pulling back in. a big pop. I'll give it a little bit because I want to see if it goes and ramps right back up and pushes back through the hold zone. Boom. All right. Let's see. We want to see a break over 69. This is a big float though. 74. Let's keep going, baby. All right, I'm out of that thing. Just scares the hell out of me. What else we got up there? We'll keep it on watch though. The float's just too high for me to really hold into that with any confidence. It's at like 150 million shares. I mean, momentum is momentum, but I'm not a crazy man. What else we got here? SMMT made a big move yesterday. My guess is that the shorts are watching it, looking to fucking with their fangs dripping. Something like that. Could turn into something really ugly on the other side. That's like a resistance level here. 276. This might be some FOMO too, because a lot of people missed this move yesterday. I know I missed it. Take a look at a hold scanners. Let's get this out of the way for a second. I'm gonna just see. Do we get a hold in SMMT? SMMT. I know I made a big move yesterday, but golly, man, I don't know if I want to mess with it. She's high, man. All right, small size. I'm in there 283. If it's gonna go into a hole or something, I want to be involved. We want this to happen fairly quickly. We got a bunch of holds jumping off. I'm at 84 on this one. There's gonna be a ton of people piling into this thing with FOMO. I just don't know how far it's gonna go. It's a good thing, but it also scares me a little bit. If it's gonna halt, it needs to hurry up and halt. It's threatening to halt. It's just being a fucker about it. All right, that's better. Are we gonna go up towards 3? It came back in too much for me. I tried to get out into strength. I just didn't hit it right. I didn't get it right. Momo looks like it wants to go higher. Yeah, this SMMT, I want some of it, but it's just too goddamn high for me. Stuff like that gets you in trouble. And then Momo's sitting at 666. So, I'm not a superstitious man, but I'm definitely not going to trade that right now. I may have to just call it because I made back some of what I lost earlier. I'm still underneath what I made my first trade though. I like to be. I'm closing on like 1%. I like to be at two or between 2 and 3% on the day. You can also use this way as a scanner. You go here, you go to top gainers, gives you a list of top gainers. All right, put them by percentage. All right, from the top down, and you'll get the top percentage movers. All right, there's the one we just traded, MOMO. This one I traded this morning. So you would have got out of the 3 trades from that compared to using the YouTube scanner. YouTube scanner is going to give you way more information, but if you know, for whatever reason, if they stop doing that, you can still fall back to this. Let's take a look at what we traded earlier. I'm kind of scared of SMMT. PHVS, was it? Eh. MOMO fell off the top. We got halted. RLMD. Let's take a look at RLMD. About to open from the halt. That's it. Some of this perky, man. It's halted down. It ain't no good. Ain't no good. And then Momo, what's the news on this thing? I don't see any news on it. Just kind of moving because resistance at 7. This shit makes you want to chase it higher, doesn't it? There's a time stuff like this would have went to $20, $30. We're back at 666 on Momo. Volume's kind of dying a bit on Momo. And then yeah, there's scanner, there's the top gainers and stuff on Webull too. So you got 3 resources there. I think I'm gonna shut it down because like I'm sick. I'm seeing a bunch of halt downs, a bunch of freaking big candles dropping. Like this SMMT looks like it's ready to fall out. Momo looks like it's about to fall out. I'm sure there's gonna be more stocks to play later, but they're not gonna be for me. I like to just get mines and get out. And I'm green on the day. I'm not where I want to be. I'm under my 1%, 2% on the day, but that pretty much gives me back what I lost yesterday. So I think I'm just gonna take that. Even though this looks good. It looks good. Alright, so I'm booking it on the day. It's not a super hot day. There was a lot of opportunity this morning, pre-market, off the bell. I gave back some of it from a couple bad trades. Wish I wouldn't have had those. I'd be up a decent amount today. Alright, I'm gonna use my intro as the outro until I make an outro. So, thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.